Let's take a closer look at Microsoft Groups in Office 365. Groups offer yet another way to collaborate, share resources, and communicate with a large or small group of people. There are several different ways that you can access groups you've created or are a member of. Let's take a look at some of those different ways. We're going to start in Outlook on the web, so Outlook in Office 365. And you will find your groups in the left menu if you just scroll all the way down to the bottom. You can also find your groups in Outlook on your desktop. Again, in the left menu, if you just scroll down underneath all of your folders and your inbox, you will see groups near the bottom. You can also find your groups and access the files for your groups in OneDrive. So again, if you go to OneDrive in Office 365, you will find your groups listed in the left navigation menu. Finally, you can also access the groups that you belong to or have created by going to myecsd.net and in the white menu bar along the top, clicking My Groups and Sites and clicking Groups. You'll be redirected to a page in which you will see a list of all the groups that you currently belong to. Let's go back to Outlook in Office 365 and take a closer look at a group that most of us belong to. Every school has its own school staff room group. The staff room group offers all of its members resources such as a shared Outlook inbox for conversations. In fact, conversations is the first tab in our group. We also see files. If we click on that, we can go to a list of group files. We have a shared staff room calendar where we can add events or reminders. We have a shared staff notebook, OneNote notebook. And if I click on the three dots, I will see more features. We have a shared planner as well as a shared SharePoint site for our group. If I access my group through OneDrive in Office 365, I will see all of the folders and documents that have been uploaded or created in my group. I will also see that I have the ability to create a new folder or create new documents, including a Word doc, an Excel, PowerPoint, or even a form. I also have a link here in the top right corner that says Go to Site. If I click on this, I'll be redirected to my group site on SharePoint, in this case for my staff room group. Though you've been added to a variety of groups in Office 365, you can also create your own groups. Let's go back to Outlook on Office 365. And I'm going to get out of the calendar here. I'm going to go back to the Conversations tab. I have a few different ways of creating a group. If I'm in my inbox in Outlook on Office 365, up here at the top where it says New, I can click on the drop-down arrow and I can select from the menu New Group. I could also just scroll down to the bottom where I see the heading Groups and click on the plus sign to the far right. This will allow me to create a new group. I have a couple of choices here. I can create a standard group or I can create a professional learning community. I'm going to create a standard group for now. So I'll click Next. I have to give my group a name. And when I give my group a name, you'll notice that it creates a group email address. I can also give my group a brief description, and I can set privacy settings. I can decide if I want this group to be public so that anyone in Edmonton Catholic Schools can see what's inside my group and what's happening in my group. Or I can set it to private so that only people that I add as members to my group can actually see the conversations and access the files and the group site. I will make sure that the language is set to English. And this is an important note here at the bottom. I can leave this checked, and if I do, it will make sure that all group conversations and events are not only stored in the group, but are sent to group members' inboxes in Outlook. If I just want the content, the conversations, and the events and the reminders to remain in the group, I can just uncheck this. Remember that members can always stop following the group later if they want, so that they stop receiving emails in their inbox. Once I'm ready, I'm going to go up to the top here and click Create. At this point, I can decide whether I want to add members now, or I can add members later. And my group has been created. To add members to a group that you've created, I can simply go up here to the top right corner and click where it says One Member, and then click the Add Members icon. All I have to do is start typing the name of a staff member or a student, whoever I want to be a part of my group, and then click Save. Notice that I'm the owner of the group. However, if I go back to All, right beside Danny, who I just added, I see 3 dots when I hover over his name. If I click on that, I can make him an owner of the group as well. When you're creating groups, it might be ideal to have a couple of owners. That way, if something were to happen and you lose your privileges to your group, you have another owner who can help you manage.